Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Food with Dottie. You might have noticed that I am not in my normal kitchen. I am staying with friends in LA and they've generously let me use theirs, and I have a gas stove too, which we don't normally have, so that was fun to use. So today we're going to be making baked, I don't know what it's called, but it's a baked apple dessert. And I chose it for a couple reasons. One reason is you guys have been begging me to do a dessert. And the other one is I used to do this all the time when I was younger, except I would just kind of bake apples and put cinnamon on it. So I looked up a slightly more complicated recipe, but it's still very simple. This recipe is a relatively healthy dessert. It really just requires oatmeal, a little bit of brown sugar, and apples. So if you like apples, you'll probably love this. It also kind of has the taste of apple pie. So the first thing you're going to do is preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Then you're going to remove the cores of the apples. It would probably be easiest to use an apple core, but since I didn't have one, I used a small knife and a fork to kind of help me get all the seeds out. The main thing is you want to get all the seeds and the hard part of the core out, because that won't be good later when you're cutting the apple open. Then you're going to make the oatmeal mixture that you're going to put into the apples. So you're going to take 1 serving of oatmeal, which it might be different depending on what container of oatmeal you have, but it's about 1/4 of a cup of dry oatmeal mixed with 3/4 cup of water, and you'll get about a bowl's full of oatmeal. Then you're going to add 1/4 cup of brown sugar, one teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Once you've mixed that together really well, you can fill the apples with it. You can change the measurements in the recipe depending on how many apples you want to make, but this recipe is about enough for 4 apples. Add all your apples to a baking dish and then add about a small spoonful of butter to each apple on top of the oatmeal. That'll help it brown a little bit as it cooks, and it'll also make it a little bit saltier. Then you're going to pour 1 cup of hot water into the pan, and you're going to cover it with tinfoil and put it into the oven. You're going to let it cook for 20 minutes, and then you're going to remove the tinfoil and allow it to cook for another 20 minutes. The apple should be very soft, and the knife should be able to easily slide through it. Then, depending on your preference, you can add ice cream or whipped cream or whatever you like on top of the apple. I'm going to use vanilla ice cream because that's my favorite. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Food with Dottie. If you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you have any suggestions for meals that you'd like me to make, I know you guys said you wanted me to make a dessert, so that's what I did. So I do read the comments, and I would love to take some more suggestions. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next Wednesday.